Yeah, this is definitely a special project for me. I have family who have, who are dealing with dementia and also who have passed away from dementia. I think it definitely puts it in perspective for me as a composer and musician and artist to be in that state of mind. And I think the universe has such funny timing sometimes, because like it's a very recent and relevant thing in my life right now. So working on this was very I guess cathartic in a way, but also it very much helped me get in that mindset of writing. And it being my first feature film, I think I'm pretty happy about that it's this one.
To me, editing is all about re-editing. And it's a luxury, actually, because if you can spend more time in the studio doing the cut, it's going to be a better film, I feel. So that means when it comes to music, the quicker I can have the music in place, the more I can realize whether or not it is even necessary. And if so, how is that working? How is that music playing or playing against the scene and contributing to the story as a whole? The more flexible I can be with the actual music and sound components, the better. So what I've learned to do over the years is, when I work with a composer, we create some blocked themes, some full-on theme songs, but then they're broken down into layers. So the layers then can be spread out throughout the film. I can tease them with just bits of the songs or elements or strands within the songs. For example, I could just ride a bass line for a long time and then come into the song, or I could start with the violins and go a little bass and go into the cellos and go back out and then finally come into a song, or halfway into a song, or I could do the reverse. So it depends. But the point is that all those strands are able to be manipulated and pulled apart and used however ultimately it serves the scene best. When I did Cages, I worked with Roger Borland, an amazing composer. For Blind Malice and for Imperfect Sky, I used Grimm Hans Christian Bernhoff, an amazing composer again. Both uniquely different, had different things to offer to the film, a different texture, a different working style. So this time, using Josh, it was yet a different thing that was offered to the palette of the music. So it was an opportunity for me to grow and to expand my use of another artist and how that played into the total of the work that we did.
I think a lot of it is left up to Graham, which is very cool for me, because I can kind of write to the picture and also kind of step back away, just to reflect on what the picture is telling me, I guess musically in a way. So I'll write away from it, come back to it, kind of reaffirm, and then when we discuss ideas and sounds and what the music should be where and for who and what, I think we had come to kind of a mutual feeling of like, I think this cue would go well here, or this one maybe later. And so we kind of played around, I guess, together, but Graham led the charge with that. And I think that was a cool experience for me, because most of the times it's, I spot something and kind of have to use my judgment on where the music should be placed. So it was kind of a cool team effort, I think.
Joshua was brilliant with this. We sat down and over the computer we had our virtual conferences, and we talked about the script. We talked about the intent of the story, about the journey of each character, the emotions and the arcs of each character, especially these three characters of Paul, Ruth, and May. He went off on his own,
Okay.
and I just trusted him to come back with three
Anything you want to show me here?
distinctly unique anthems that represented these three characters. We also created some ancillary packages, and they were based basically on adjectives like fear or anxiety or confusion, resolution, things like that, that had the core emotions of each of the three characters and the scenes and the audience's feelings, they were also in strands that could be pulled apart and layered or stretched out throughout the film.
I think given the situation, having the Skype sessions, me being on the East Coast, completely different end, it was obviously useful, but having those kind of weekly meetings really drove deadlines, and I think I love deadlines. I'll set them for myself at any given moment. So it's like, if I know I need to get this done in a week, it'll be done for sure, just because of the deadline thing. So having those kind of Skype calls really like enforced that, and it was nice because I would know what he was asking for and know the feedback immediately upon showing him my work.
As much as I am an artist, I think we have to be very, very structured. That's why I went to business school, so that I could get that structure. And I think having that schedule and having those days where we had to deliver, we had to show up, we had to be responsible, was a payoff, because then, I mean, if he's going to take the time to do the music, I had to be sure that I was going to cut it and put it together and lay it on a scene and send it back to him, so he knew that the work was being respected and that it was immediately being used. And so a date meant something.
I really hope the audience just enjoys the ride and the emotion that this film brings. It brings you low and it brings you up, and you just connect with the characters, and it gets exciting. The end is quite the ride.